Okay, so let's talk about the eighth house, and let's specifically talk about a component of the eighth house that is very practical. Um, you know, I think each year I'm touching on different aspects of the house. It's fun to focus on different components. Some of them seem more symbolic or more like kind of purely metaphysical, and others are just super practical. Because again, the houses are extremely practical, which is why I always encourage people to try to kind of understand them and understand where the planets are in their chart and what's happening in each house, because they're just areas of our life. Now, the eighth house is a lot about shared resources. The eighth house is about money that comes from us through our partnership, through the government, through um, taxes, also the money that goes out and goes to taxes, but the money that comes to us through outside sources. Mainly like our partnerships, which is interesting because the house before it is the seventh house, so the second house to the seventh is the eighth, which is why in ancient astrology or Hellenistic astrology, it was really affiliated with the money we earn from relationships, where directly opposite of the eighth house is the second house, which is money and income we earn through our own talents, abilities, and the work we do, the income we receive for our work and efforts. But the eighth house traditionally rules inheritances, and as you know, of course corresponds to the eighth house mainly being associated or signified by death. So, of course, like the inheritance of someone that passes away in our life. And that's where the eighth house, like when you're having a strong eighth house transit, be it through perfection or through just um, planets, prominent planets transiting your eighth house, are forming angles to your eighth house, it's usually on a positive side. It can be a time where you kind of can let others support you. This is where like a friend may be like, hey, why don't you just live with me in my big house? Or hey, like, let me help you out. Like when people have strong eighth house transits, I kind of, depending on their situation, let them know this is a good year to let yourself, be helped out. This is where also loans come into factor. So if you're trying to get a loan for a business, this could be something to consider. But it is where money can come to you and resources can come to you from other people. Or when I had an eighth house perfection year several years ago, I had money come to me for a law settlement. Like I forgot that I was in this big class action lawsuit, totally forgot about it, and like decent check showed up. So it is things that come to us from other sources. So it's good to, if you're having a strong eighth house here, a lot of people have hang-ups over like letting others help them. It's really like a really positive component of this eighth house. And so, let yourself be helped. Let yourself be supported. I think another time I was having strong eighth house energy. I was like, I lived like on someone, like, someone let me stay with them for 6 months. It was awesome. I just moved to a new city. It was, rent free. It was great. And then I eventually paid rent and it was awesome. And, but we're not accustomed culturally to like letting ourselves be helped, or there's so much shame around everything in the eighth house, which is really unfortunate. When you talk about like true intimacy and sex and death and like, we there's so much stigma and shame around that, and especially around like, sharing resources, or like if your spouse or your partner or whoever that is, if they earn more money and they're supporting you during a time in your life, let yourself be supported. If you're focusing on something that is not bringing in income right now, but your partner is bringing income, or a friend or anyone that like parents, it's okay to receive that money. We put so much emphasis on the second house, which is like we have to earn money and earn our keep, and like you're a failure if you're not like supporting yourself directly through your effort and through your work and through your trade or skill. But no, like when you're going through eighth house transits, let people help you. Okay, that's all I want to say about this specific element of the eighth house. I hope you're well, and thank you to Lily. We did an awesome new moon in Scorpio sort of eclipse prep, eclipse prep video yesterday, or live rather, and it was awesome. We're going to do another live for the eclipse at the end of this month. Okay, Miggy will be back tomorrow for this final Mercury Uranus opposition. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.